In this poem, Ezra Pound visits Richmond, which he did. In fact, as far as I know, everything that appears to be factual in this poem is. The South. Can't get out of my head that Ezra Pound was driven down Monument Avenue by Harry Meacham, past Stonewall and Jeff Davis and Lofty Lee, past that plumed show-off Jeb Stewart, and on down Franklin to the Jefferson Hotel to suffer the locals. That he chewed some genteel fat for over an hour. That James J. Kilpatrick said the next day in print his talk was incomprehensible, harmless, that this odd duck should never have been locked up at all. Ezra Pound was locked up in St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C. for 13 years. He pleaded not guilty by insanity to the charge of treason. He spent more time in jail than Tokyo Rose did, by the way, in prison. Anyway, back to the poem. Not one of those bronze boys on Monument Avenue had been executed. Killed, sure, Jeb and Stonewall, but not tried in a proper court of law, taken to a place of execution and hanged, pissing, bug-eyed, or shot proudly through an unrepentant chest. What did he think as he passed them, the losers and the traitors, nobled up there in the sky, their chins up in defiance forever? Not even the literati understood half he said that day. Ezra had never lacked conviction, but often, so often, coherence. 13 years in the loony bin, more time behind bars than Tokyo Rose. He danced and sung over the Atlantic, above clouds, first time in his 60 years. How many Richmonders does it take to screw in a light bulb? I was asked within a month of my arrival from Georgia. Why don't West End women take part in group sex? Good jokes, even now, like all nasty cracks with their smidgen smear of truth. Why the Parisians planted trees along the Champs-Élysées? That's right, so the Nazis could march in the shade. How could he have done it when he docked in Naples, shading his eyes my ass? He gave the crowd the fascist salute. Final sign this genius had learned nothing, was still just by God a brainy child of the First Amendment. Beyond shame, beyond Nietzsche, the heart squeezed out by the mind, James Russell Lowell had said of Edgar Poe, our hometown boy, free as the clouds are free. No record Pound visited the Poe shrine, though I've seen a framed Gertrude Stein in the Enchanted Garden, or was that Julius Caesar? What hath a poet to do with politics? My Tertullian keeps asking. Everything, nothing. In the Alps, in the gondolas, did he think of Richmond, its famous boulevard, a monument to the oh-so-lost cause? The way I think of Savannah, spared by Sherman as a gift to Lincoln. And Oglethorpe, in his armor and his swagger and his tricorn hat puffing out his chest, dead center in a lovely square of live oaks and chigger-infested moss, named, if you can believe it, after the enemy to the south.